What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pineda Show, where we talk all things money, real estate, and entrepreneurship. And in today's episode, we're going to get deep. We're going to talk about relationships. One of the big things I'm passionate about in life is relationships. And I see a very big need in the entrepreneurial world, in the business world, to talk about this stuff. Because I think that so many people don't get it. I think many people are doing a ton of damage to their family and they don't even realize it. So what I want to do in this video is just take a step back and really help you understand why you're doing all this work, why you're working so hard, why you're doing the job you're doing, like why? And you hear the phrase a lot, what's your why? And I would say the most common answer would be family. A lot of people would say God. And if you got really deep with some people, they might say just the feeling of being accepted, the feeling of having success, the feeling of having prestige and status. These are all reasons why we do what we do. But when you look at your job and your career as a whole, why are you actually doing them? Obviously to pay the bills, obviously to provide for your family. Your current job may not be where you want to be at, but you might be using it as a stepping stone, and you might be working really hard so that you can have a better life in the future. I think all of us today would hope for a better future. Nobody hopes to have a worse life down the road. Nobody wants to think they're at the peak of their life and everything is downhill from here. No, we want to work for a better future. And I think that's where we lose sight of the why. We tell ourselves these lies about our job, and we say, hey, if I put in that extra work, get that overtime, work longer hours, take my work to home, work nonstop, it's gonna be better for my family. I'm gonna get us in a better financial position. We're not gonna be in these conditions we're living in. I'm gonna move up and get a promotion in my career. My company's going to the next level. But for now, I can't spend a lot of time with you, family. I've gotta sacrifice now for a better future. And I'm here to tell you guys, it's a lie. And it's really bad and really scary for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs do not know how to turn it off. I can tell you personally, I'm thinking of new business ideas nonstop. I'm thinking about how do we improve our current business. I get my best ideas at midnight. My employees will all tell you, I'll text them at midnight with a really good idea. I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm so scared that I might forget the idea that I just do it anyway. And it's so easy when you're an entrepreneur to do that, because you don't have set hours. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. It doesn't matter whether you're having a lot of success or not, because if you're not having success, you think, I need to work harder. I need to figure out what's the solution. I gotta work nonstop so we can be profitable. I get it. But even once you obtain that success, those habits you've created don't go away. It's very easy when you're working your way up to develop these habits and to not lose them. If you develop the habit of working nonstop and working at home, you can't all of a sudden just shut it off. It doesn't work like that. You've trained your body, you've trained your mind, you've trained your family to all accept that as the norm. And when you have success, it's never enough. I can tell you, I'm never satisfied no matter how much success I've had. I'm always looking on to the next thing. And that's kind of what makes us entrepreneurs. It's great that we're always striving for more, but it's also something that hinders us. It's hard to enjoy the moment when you're constantly pushing forward. My point with all of that is, if you can't figure out how to do it starting out, you don't figure it out later. It becomes even harder with more success because you now have more responsibility and you just start telling yourself new lies. Before, when you were pushing your business forward, it was just you trying to provide for your family. Now that you have success, now it's you saying, well, my employees have families. I'm responsible for my employees and their families now. There's so much on my shoulders. I have to keep working. I don't want to let everyone down. I've got a reputation to uphold. People are expecting this out of me now. I'm this big figure. Trust me, guys, I know exactly what it feels like. And I'm telling you, if you don't figure it out in the beginning, you will lose sight. So whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're somebody who's working at their career trying to move up, I want you to take a step back and ask yourself, what's my why? Legitimately ask yourself what you think your why is. And if you say it's your family, I want you to take a look at your life and tell me, does it reflect that? If I were to look at your life right now, would I think that you value your family above all else? If I go watch you for a week and I see your work schedule and I see how you interact with your family when you come home, would I believe that's your why and that's your main priority? My guess is you're working so hard that when you come home, you're too tired to play with your kids. And when you get home, all you wanna do is just relax and take a minute to chill. You wanna have some enjoyment for yourself after working all day. I totally get it. But if you come home and you take that attitude and then you're on your phone and you're not present, I don't care if you're there. you're not really there. If your kids are constantly seeking your attention, or your spouse is constantly telling you that, hey, you're on your phone too much, or that you're not spending enough time with them, take it seriously. Don't feel like they're nagging you. They're trying to tell you that your priorities aren't in line with what you say. And here's the reality of this. If you continue to do that path, you may not have a family. There's so much divorce in business. There's so many kids that grow up without their parent, even though they're there, because they're not really there. So don't fool yourself, and don't be a hypocrite and say they're your why when your actions don't reflect it. Make a change. It's not easy. I'm here to tell you I'm guilty of doing those things. You know why I can tell you about it? You know why I can recognize it? Because I've caught myself doing it, and I've been called out on it by other people who I really respect. So I want to give you guys that same advice. And if you can tell, I'm very passionate about this because this is the stuff no one talks about. All these guys like Gary Vee telling you to grind and do what you do, and if your spouse can't respect that, she's not the one for you. They're idiots. They're straight up idiots. And I'm not saying Gary Vee says leave your spouse or anything like that, but you don't have to work nonstop to get to where you want to be. And if you're single right now, I want you to know you better learn these lessons now, so that when you do have a partner, you do have a spouse, you do have kids, you're prepared for it. You're not caught by surprise that they want your attention and it's not all about business. I'll give you guys a quick story about last year in 2019. My wife and I had our first child, James, in January, and he was 2 months premature and spent 2 months in the NICU. Very difficult time for first-time parents. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had to experience the NICU, but to do it for 2 months is an extremely stressful time. Definitely one of the hardest times we've ever had in our lives. It affected both of us mentally, it affected our business. It was a tough time. When he finally got to come home, we now had to figure out how to be parents. And I'll tell you, my wife was having a tough time. She was adjusting to being a stay-at-home mom for the first time. I was trying to run all my businesses, and she was getting really overwhelmed. She needed more help. It would have been easy for me to say, you're a stay-at-home mom, you should be able to get it done. I've got all these businesses I'm trying to run and all these things changing, things are breaking all the time, there's always problems in business. I need to focus on this so that you guys are okay and I can provide for you guys. But no, that's not what I did, because I value my relationship with my wife and my son more than this. And so even if this has to suffer, the business, that's okay. I'm okay not having the business success I want to have, as long as I maintain my relationship with them. So I listened to what she was saying. I started taking Wednesdays off. I said, you know what? I'll work from home on Wednesdays. I'll help you take care of James, and I'll just have to figure out how to get these guys to function without me and run the business effectively. And you know what happened? My relationship with Mindy got better. We got through a difficult time being new parents. My business ended up actually getting better. The people within it rose up to the occasion. They took on new roles, and it was amazing. And it was a good reality check of, hey, if you have a true business, it should not need you to function. You should have the right people in place to function without you. And I was fortunate enough to have that. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't have employees and you are the business. I understand that. So if you choose to stop working, you don't make money. I get it. At some point, you're gonna have to make a tough decision on, is my business more important or is my family? If my family's having an issue, am I willing to forego my business and business success to make sure they're okay? And that's what I can tell you guys, is I've constantly had to make tough decisions. And all I can do is just warn you guys from somebody who's gone through it, somebody who has had to decide between this success versus this relationship. And I've constantly chosen the relationships, and in turn, it has made this more successful because I've had to get more creative. It told me that I need to hire the right people so that it doesn't need me to function. And it goes back to the whole philosophy on being an entrepreneur in business. When you're an employee, you're trading time for money. How do you get to the point where you can now trade money for time? How can I give up money over here and pay people to do this job over here so that I have more time over here with my family? That's my whole goal in everything I do. How do I create opportunities to buy time back? If I have to take on a project that I know only I can do, and it's gonna take away my time and I can't buy the time with money, I just know it better be really worthwhile, because time is the only thing I have limit on. Every day I have to decide, how do I wanna use my 24 hours? How many hours am I gonna allocate to my family? How many am I gonna allocate to my business? How many am I gonna allocate towards myself and my own personal development? These are things you gotta ask yourself. Most entrepreneurs will tell you they just wanna allocate all their time to their business. They gotta just grind it out on their business and that's it. And I don't want you to fall in that trap. I think it takes balance. I'm not saying that you gotta just spend all your time with your family. You gotta make money, you gotta provide, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I don't want you to say that you can't work on yourself. You do need to do that. You do need to work on your health. You do need to work on personal development and getting smarter and learning new skills. And you need to work on your business so that that thrives and you can do that. It's all a balancing act, and you need to figure out how you want it balanced. You just don't want it all on one side doing the thing that makes you money. That's the trap that most entrepreneurs, most career people fall into. And it might lead to a path of a lot of money and a lot of fame and a lot of success, but you don't have a family to share it with because you lost them. So as I said, guys, this was gonna be a deep video, and I hope for some of you workaholics it scared you. And after this video, I hope you will take the time to look back and really analyze from an objective point of view how your life is structured. If you truly are pursuing your why. And if you're not, make a change. If you are, then congrats. You're one of the select few who are doing it the right way. And if you got value out of this video, do me a big favor, go hit that like button. If you haven't already, go hit the subscribe button. Go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, take care.